Hey, Gold State coaches, Mitchell here. I just wanted to bring you some wrist mobility for today's handstand work. We get a lot of complaints from athletes whenever I'm in class or I see handstands worked where we get a lot of pain right at the top of the wrist because most individuals that we have in class, most athletes we have in class are not used to putting their wrist in that 90-degree position and having their body weight down on it. And we wanted to give you some good wrist mobility drills to make sure that they don't have a pain point with handstands and they'll actually be rewarded by working on that skill. So the first thing I'm going to do is like a twisted tissue drill. I like to do on the floor. This just activates all the tissue that's going to be using for that handstand up your arm. But being on all fours, just fingers pointed forward, you want to turn your fingers to the outside all the way to where if you can point at your knees, that would be great. But now I want to rotate and pull my shoulders back into my hips. And I'm going to feel that stretch all the way down the bicep, down into the forearm and into the wrist. Then I'm just going to only be there for about 2 seconds and then twist my fingers to the inside as far as I can. And the same thing, I want to rotate just like we're doing push-ups and pull those scaps and lats back into my shoulders and then rotate. You do this about 10 times. You can really feel that tissue start to loosen up. It's like wringing a towel, right, and getting all that nasty stuff out of your forearms. And then as well, we want to take that tissue and make it warm. So we want to make sure that it's ready to take on load, just like we're working on like jump rope or something that's going to be for our calves. I'm going to spread my fingers as far as I can. And then all I'm going to do is some lifts. I want to put as much pressure as I feel comfortable with into the tips of my fingers. And then just warm up that forearm and ready to take load. Do about 5 reps. And then I want to switch it to the backs of my hands. This can be very painful, so you want to be very careful. But I want to turn on the backs of my hands as well and push my fingertips into the ground or my knuckles into the ground and just turn on that tissue on the back of your forearm. These are 2 very simple wrist mobility drills, but they get really good fluid into that wrist joint, as well as any mobilization that you usually do, like static stretching. You don't want to start with that static stretching because it's going to create that pain in the wrist the same way as just jumping into a handstand. So work on the floor first, get them moving, activate that forearm, and then you're going to have better success without pain in your handstand.